if you're going to accuse an entire system of being broken just based on one part, you should probably be sure that that one part really is, in fact, broken. When opponents of the Bible, critics of the Bible, look at the genealogies of Jesus, they see discrepancies. They see contradictions. Matthew chapter 1 tells us that Jacob was the father of Joseph. But Luke chapter 3 tells us that Joseph was the son of Heli. Now today, in 21st century America, if my wedding announcement, if one of them said I was the son of Byron, but the other one said I was the son of Craig, we would certainly think, well, there's a mistake somewhere. One of those can't both be right, can they? But there are some things we have to keep in mind about the biblical record. So the first thing is that son of or father of did not necessarily mean exactly one generation away. That's especially true of father of. Another important thing is that genealogies, these two genealogies are actually at odds most of the way through. And you might think that that lends credence to the fact that it's a contradiction, but it really doesn't. See, this could show that both the records are in fact incomplete, and they don't show every single link, but just highlight different individuals. The Matthew account, for example, seems to show the royal line. It shows us a bunch of these kings, so showing that Jesus was from a royal line, from David's royal line, whereas the Luke account doesn't necessarily focus on that. Most importantly, the Luke account says that Jesus was, so it was thought, or as he was considered, the son of Joseph, the son of Heli, so on and so forth. So it's distinctly possible that Luke was really substituting Joseph for Mary. It was not normal to list a woman in a genealogical record, but if you wanted to trace Jesus' actual bloodline, rather than his legal line, if you wanted to trace his actual physical, biological ancestry, well, Joseph wasn't his biological father, so then you had to go through Mary. So it's certainly possible that Luke gives us Mary's line, which would make Joseph the son-in-law of Heli, which is certainly possible within the freedom of that language that they used at the time. So he could have been the son-in-law of Heli, even if he was the biological son of someone named Jacob. And the last thing to note is that the major point of any messianic genealogy is to point to David and to point to Abraham. And that spot in both genealogies, that is the only spot where they agree entirely. From Abraham to David is identical. But then Matthew goes through David's son Solomon, the king, right? And Luke goes through David's son Nathan. So it may be that both Mary and Joseph were descendants of David, and then, would have been 40th or whatever number it was, cousins. And so Mary would have been a descendant of David through Nathan, and Joseph, a son of David, through King Solomon. I'm Pastor Clinton. God bless your efforts to learn from his truth.